each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning. Yeah, good morning. The weather. Sorry. I was supposed to go take a tour this afternoon. It's like 5 hours away, 2 o'clock, right? It's like a couple miles away that way. They canceled because of the snow. They canceled because of the snow. Like 2 inches. The people are like, and I know how snowfall works. I understand that because I have a friend out in Littleton and they got 8 inches. Okay. But over here we didn't get 8 inches. And the tour's only like 3 miles that way. It's not that far. There was no reason to cancel. There was no reason to cancel. Not a legitimate one in my book anyway. Especially when it's gonna be at 2 o'clock. There ain't even gonna be any snow on the ground anymore. Fucking people. Yeah, not surprising. It's the Community Reach Center. They're lucky I'm even giving them a chance, honestly. They we might still have Arapahoe House if it wasn't for Community Reach Center. They're the ones that took it out. You know, it just disappoints me when when people lose sight of priorities. You know, a little disappointing. Like, and we'd like we'd like to reschedule hopefully the beginning of March so we can come on, man, you ain't that fucking busy. You ain't that fucking busy. So if they want to screw around with it, that's fine. I got plenty of other places I can hold AA meetings at. I don't. They're not in the grand scheme of things that I'm doing. I do not need the Community Reach Center. I just don't. So maybe this is God's way of stopping it. Who knows? But I'm disappointed. I just felt like it was a bad excuse. And that it wasn't asked, it was told. That was the other thing that I don't really appreciate. Yeah. What we have is a person in power doesn't know how to handle it. All right. Or what they're saying is they're going in, but I'm not a priority, which in and of itself will just piss me off. So there you go. Oh. Having tummy problems this morning, so all right. All right. It's just part of getting older. Should we get started? Yeah. Okay. Let's do it. Another good AA meeting last night, and then I went to it was the board of directors meeting for Adams County Behavioral Health, and this is funny. This was kind of funny. Um, they introduced us, and they introduced me, and they're like, and Dion went trudging through. I'm like, it's not the name of it. That's not the name of it. Um, let's see if it's here. Yeah, okay. Um, so I wrote Callie. I'm like, you said trudging through, and I'm trudging together. I just want to make sure, you make mistakes, no biggie. Um, you know, honestly, nobody there gave a fuck anyway, right? But they introduced us and stuff, and and so I wrote her. I'm like, okay, I'm like, you got it written trudging together though, right? She's like, yeah, we do. And then they send this. She sends this out, right? You're gonna like this. It's all Chrome tabs, right here, right here. Okay. So she sends it out to a very special thanks to our participating community members. Dion Miller, recovery addict. Trudging together. Recovery addict. and I wrote her, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry." And I'm like, "Well, it is true. I am addicted to recovery, so no worries." She's like, "Thank you for having a good attitude." Well, I do get mad about it, man. Fuck, it's actually kind of funny. So, welcome to Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. I wasted almost 6 minutes for Amber to get here, and she's not here yet. But yeah, she's at the vet. So vet probably walked in at the same time I went live. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. We're gonna be in As Bill Sees It and the 12 by 12 for this one. So we're gonna go to As Bill Sees It, page 225. And that'll lead us to other places. It doing this reminds me of Choose Your Own Adventures. You remember those? Some of you will. The rest of you don't read. The rest of you have probably hardly ever picked up a fucking book. 12 by 12, page 37. I know that's Amber. She must be here. Hold on. Fuck, I'm late. The queen is never late. Because I wrote her, I'm like, "I'm live, Your Highness." She was like, you need to go live. I'm bored." Oh, yeah, that sounds kind of rude. I'm glad you wasted 6 minutes. The queen has arrived. Well, good. I'm glad you're here. Just in time. I apologize, Leisure. If that was rude, I apologize. You were certainly worth 6 minutes. So before we get to the 12 by 12, there's a reading in here. The answer is in the mirror. My spiritual awakening was electric. Boogie, woogie, woogie. It was electrically sudden and absolutely convincing. At once I became a part, if only a tiny part, of the cosmos that was ruled by justice and love in the person of God. I really like the way he put that. I'm a big justice person. No matter what had been the consequences of my own willfulness and ignorance, or those of my fellow traveler on earth, this was still the truth. Well, no, 7 minutes. I gotta start charging you, dude. Such was new and positive assurance, and this has never left me. You know, it's hard for me to talk on that only because I never went through it, because I didn't go through the sudden electric boogie woogie woogie. Sorry, that's part of my ADHD. It's called stimming. I always, like, sometimes I hear noises and I have to repeat them. I have to repeat them. I do it a lot when I'm alone. I also talk to myself a lot. I do. It just helps keep my ADHD in check. Check. Check, 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 check. Check out my melody. Walk, walk. See? Well, who is that? Check out my melody. It's special. You think you're special? You do. All right. What's her name? I could see the guy's face. Limp Bizkit. That's who it was. I really liked their first album. I really did like their first album. Unfortunately, their second album sounded just like their first album, like tit for tat, man. And yeah, the best thing that Limp Bizkit ever did was Aaron Lewis. Aaron Lewis from Stained. All right. So we're supposed to be on page 37. Yeah, okay. Let's cover it anyway. I can see it in your eyes. I can't do much more. Or this, they're gonna be like, sorry, but your video has been canceled. You do not own the rights to that song. God forbid you sing. Oh, motherfuckers, check out my melody. All right. Let's examine for a moment this idea of dependence at the level of everyday living. In this area, it is startling to discover how dependent we really are and how unconscious of that dependence. Now, you know the manual starting cars? Yeah, dependence. The more dependence we have, the less freedom we have. Like letting your thermostat decide what temperature it's going to be for you. Not kidding, man. Instant minute. You know, there are some things that like we received this free equipment, right? It was medical equipment, like armband and taking stuff. But you had to apply it to an app which went somewhere, which means at any minute they could do whatever the fuck, No, you're not taking my information. I'm sorry. I know it's my phone every now and again. It just starts fucking recording. The little assistant will pop up. Even while I'm watching TV, it'll do it. I know it's listening. I made a phone call yesterday for disability. Now all over it's all over my Facebook. Oh, you want disability? No, I've already started working on it. I don't need fit. Could you not figure that part out? That's not very convenient. That's intrusive, right? Anyway, we're talking about dependence. It's the wrong kind of dependence. If I want the kind of dependence that's going to make my life easier, I'm on the wrong track. I'm talking about for me. Maybe it's different for you. But I have found that when I'm in my comfort, I am not growing. If I'm not growing, I become stagnant. When I become stagnant, then I rest on my laurels. Then fear can enter. Every modern house has electric wiring carrying power and lights to its interior. We're delighted with this dependence. Our main hope is that nothing will ever cut off the supply of current. By so accepting our dependence upon this marvelous science, we find ourselves more independent personally. Not only are we more independent, we are even more comfortable and secure. Power flows just where it is needed, silently and surely. Electricity, that strange energy so few people understand, meets our simplest daily needs, and our most desperate ones do. As the polio sufferer confined to an iron lung, who depends with complete trust upon a motor to keep the breath of life in him. All right. Say power goes out. You got your phone. And so you can still be slightly entertained until that phone dies, until the battery runs out of that. But I hope your power comes on before, I'll do things like walk in the bathroom, turn on the light, forget, go to use the microwave, make a cup of coffee. See how all my independence has disappeared. It's all disappeared. People don't even know what to do. Internet. If you're in charge of the internet and it goes down, you become the most popular person within seconds. Within seconds. They can't even wait 10 seconds to see if the internet will come. Oh my God, internet, what am I going to do? I won't say it doesn't drive me a little crazy because then I can't go live. Can't go live. No. All right. But the moment our mental or emotional independence in question, how differently we behave. Oh no, you're going to interfere with my safe little world over here. How persistently we claim the right to decide all by ourselves just what we shall think and just how we shall act. When I did that, I fucked it up. Bad. I it's one of my limitations. I'm not very good at making decisions all by myself. I know it seems like it. No. I don't know how other people see. I know that your view of me and my view of me are much different. I know they're much different. So I can only assume how people really look at me. right? Oh yeah, we'll weigh the pros and cons of every problem. I didn't. No, I didn't. I didn't get that fucking far. We'll listen politely to those who would advise us, but all the decisions are to be ours alone. Nobody is going to meddle with our personal independence in such matters. You are not to meddle with my personal independence. Do not meddle. Take your meddling elsewhere. Oh no, I've been disturbed. My time has been disturbed. Oh no, can't have that. Besides, we think there is no one we can surely trust. We are certain that our intelligence, backed by willpower, can rightly control our inner lives and guarantee us success in the world we live in. This brave philosophy, wherein each man plays God, sounds good in the speaking, but it still has to meet the acid test. How well does it actually work? One good look in the mirror ought to be answer enough for any alcoholic. It doesn't work. We call that anarchy. I wanna be anarchy. I believe that's Deftones. I want to be anarchy. Leisure, who sings that? I know you got that mohawk. You must be a punk guy. Hey, I can't find my brace. I lost it last night. Well, while it's sleeping. Now I can't flip people off acting like it's just an injury. All right. So one good look in the mirror. How well does this work? Well, it doesn't. It is. It's anarchy where every person decides for themselves. Recovery right now is anarchy. Everybody's rushing around. Hey, look at me. This program's better. This one's better. Oh, and I'm going to put down the other programs. There is to be no division in what we do. There's no competition in recovery. That is the opposite of what recovery is. It is. Right. All right. Should his own image in the mirror be too awful to contemplate? And it usually is. Nah, I can look at myself in the mirror. It took me a while to get there, but I can look myself in the mirror now. He might first take a look at the results normal people are getting from self sufficiency. Everywhere he sees people filled with anger, fear, society breaking into warring fragments. Each fragment says to the others, we are right and you are wrong. Every such pressure group, if it is strong enough, self righteously imposes its will upon the rest. This is what is called the Abilene effect. Okay? And the Abilene effect is essentially a group of people get together and make a wrong decision based upon the popularity of the group or even the industry, the neighborhood, the community, whatever it is. They make a wrong decision because of popularity. Yes, and it happens often unless there is somebody in that group with enough humility to say, why the fuck are we doing this? Why? Those are the people that will be ostracized. They will be kicked out. They will be banned. They will. You get blacklisted. They'll cancel culture your ass. Big fear, a lot of fear for people in that. You get blasted away on the internet. Can't even act like yourself out there. Somebody will take fucking clips of you, put it together, put it on the internet, and call it something else. Right? So it says, like, because you watch these videos, okay, there's a cameraman. Always remember there's a cameraman. Oh, I'm going to be popular, all right. I'll tell you how I'm going to be popular. Notice I'm saying that different. Because when I die, I'm gonna take my ashes and be a tree, a poplar tree. Yeah. So one day I'll be popular. Okay, I'm not doing that. I just made that up. Yeah, maybe I'll be popular one day. Thing is I don't want to be popular. I don't want to be famous. I want to be infamous. And that's not a bad thing. Just means I want my name to carry on. And it might. It might. My kids really love me. So it'll be carried on. It'll be carried on. All right. And everywhere the same is being done on an individual basis. The sum of all this mighty effort is less peace and less brotherhood than before. The philosophy of self sufficiency is not paying off. Plainly enough, it is a bone crushing juggernaut whose final achievement is ruin. Yep, ruined my life. Bang. Now, when I was drinking and all this other stuff, self help books didn't help because I didn't know how to help myself. Well, same thing here, right? Get people that start to lead that don't understand leadership, that think leadership is bossing people around. It's not. You just got to keep doing it. Got to keep doing it, right? Just keep doing it. Therefore, we who are alcoholics consider ourselves fortunate indeed. Each of us has had his own near fatal encounter with the juggernaut of self will and has suffered enough under its weight to be willing to look for something better because the way it was going was not working. I needed something better. When I came into the program, I knew what that was. I knew what it was. This shirt makes me look like I have boobs. That's muscle, I swear. It's not. It's not muscle. But I don't have boobs. Yet. We're getting there. I tipped that 200 mark. I'm a popular queen. A popular queen. So it's by circumstance rather than any virtue that we have been driven to A and admitted defeat, have acquired the rudiments of faith, and now want to make a decision to turn our will and our lives over to a higher power. The only way to true independence is total dependence on a power greater than yourself is the only way I've found. Right? It's one of the paradoxes in AA. Right? Not well, yeah, in AA, but it's a paradox for anyone seeking God. We realize that the word dependence is as distasteful to many psychiatrists and psychologists as it is to alcoholics. Like our professional friends, we too are aware there are wrong forms of dependence. Yeah, right. That emotional dependence. Emotional dependence is what they're talking about here. One time when I was drunk, I was getting a jaywalking ticket and couldn't spell Poplar. It was a street I lived on. Well, no wonder you got a ticket. They gave you a jaywalking ticket in lieu of drunk in public. That was in Vegas. Yeah, you're allowed to be drunk on the street in Vegas, so never mind. It was for jaywalking. Oh, that's funny. Wrong forms of dependence. We have experienced many of them. No adult man or woman, for example, should be in too much emotional dependence upon a parent. That would have been me as a kid. I was way too dependent on my mom. Right? There were sides. There were sides. I don't think there is a drinking age in Vegas. Oh, that's okay. He was too busy trying to write you a ticket. You got lucky, actually. You don't want to go to Vegas fucking court. They should have been weaned long before, and if they have not been, they should wake up to the fact that you got to get to a point where you can't blame your parents for who you are anymore. You got to get past that. I don't give a fuck here if you're alcoholic or not. Every person needs to go through, you know, you know when my son turned 18, I'm like, you're the fuck out of here, man. You're gonna go learn. I'm just kidding. All right. But he did move out. He did move out. Actually, I think he was a little older than that. But my kids are not dependent upon me. No. Mm-mm. Do I do? They pay rent here. They pay half the rent. Right. Daughter has her own place. Now the nice thing is I get to be there for them. You know that took us a lot of work. So this very form of faulty dependence has caused many a rebellious alcoholic to conclude that dependence of any sort must be intolerably damaging. But dependence upon AA group or a higher power hasn't produced any baleful results. Hmm. Baleful meaning bad. Bad. Today's reading. I'm a part of the whole. At once I became a part, if only a tiny part, of the cosmos, as Bill sees it, page 225. When I first came to AA, I decided that they were very nice people, and they is in quotations, perhaps a little naive, a little too friendly, but basically decent, earnest people with whom I had nothing in common. I saw them at meetings. After all, that was where they existed. I shook hands with them and I went outdoor and I forgot about them. That's an alcoholic not wanting to get close to anybody. Yeah. Then one day, my higher power, whom I did not believe in then, arranged to create a community project outside of AA, but one which happened to involve many AA members. I'm actually kind of thinking about doing something like this. But all of our meetings are kind of online, and and it snowed today, so nobody's gonna be able to make it. I still can't get over that. I mean, you can literally see the street. Can't sleep for snow. You tell I'm disappointed. I was really looking forward to this tour. I was. I was going to be able to hang out with Marcia for a little bit, accomplish something. It was my accomplishment for the week, and they took it away based on a decision which was bullshit. So I'm a little upset by it. All right. You can't always get what you want. I was just bring out another song for it, right? But if you try sometime, well, you might find you get what you need. Oh, yeah. We worked together. I got to know them as people. I came to admire them, even to like them, and in spite of myself, to enjoy them is enough. Their practice of the program in their daily lives, not just talking the meetings, attracted me, and I wanted what they had. Suddenly, the they became we. I have not had a drink since. Well, I get tired of that. I have not had a drink since. All right. Same. It's the same way of saying I've never had a relapse. All right. Are going to be it for this one. I am sure. I'm not sure if I'll be back before the noon meeting, but we do have a noon meeting today. It's listed, so we should get more people since everybody's so. It's just huge snow day. So people aren't going to go there regularly. See, that was my thought. I'm like, okay, if there was a meeting there today, would we be canceling it? No, I wouldn't have canceled it. So, all right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. and you and you and you and you and you. You know I do. Peace out and have a day.